Hello everyone. So students, this is a session specially for the English medium audience and focusing on the upcoming RBI assistant mains examination. We will be conducting a Hindi session as well in the late evening, but this is a session specially to all the south audience or the southern states audience who wants that Adda 24/7 should also be should take some sessions in English medium as well. So here we are with the important session. RBI assistant prelims is over now and the focus is on mains, and the big question is when will be the exam is going to be held. As we all know that SBI clerk is going to be will be taking place on 19th of April. So obviously before 19th of April the examination of RBI assistant mains will be taking place. What will be the date? Is it going to be March 3rd week or March 4th week? That we'll share with you very soon. But today, if we say that we are preparing for mains examination, so we have two mindsets here. Either we have to wait for the result. You will be waiting for the result. Ki chalo let the result come. Then we'll decide whether we have to go for mains or not. And the second mindset is that now my prelims is over. Now I have to focus on mains examination irrespective of the result, because if I have to be a banker, if I want to be a banker, then in any of the exam I have to go for the mains. I have to prepare for the mains. So let's start with this now. Let's start with the RBI mains, RBI assistant mains. So in this session, we will be meeting the team of the English medium who will be teaching you on YouTube as well and on in some batches as well in pure English medium for the upcoming examination. So a request, come on students, please share this session. This is going to be a very useful session, especially for all those who are going for any of the mains examination. And before we start the session, all the best to everyone for tomorrow's SBI clerk examination as well. So come on students, start sharing. This is the pure English medium. Again, this session will be in English medium only and focusing on the upcoming RBI assistant mains examination. So students, this is the pattern. If we see, we have 5 sections in mains examination: English language, quant, reasoning, computers and journal awareness. And each section is of 40 marks. So here the first important thing you have to keep in mind is that you have to treat all sections equal here, because if in reasoning or in maths you are able to score a bit less, you can cover those marks either in computers or in GA or in English as well, and with the specific timing. So 30 minutes for English, 30 minutes for quant, 30 minutes for reasoning, 20 minutes for computers, 25 minutes for journal awareness, a total of 135 minutes. So now let's start with the session. So as we have seen, RBI assistant, and we are talking about the mains section, the mains part. Now if we talk about the mains part and if we talk about quant section, so this quant section will give you will include some questions from the arithmetic portion and some questions from the DI portion. To discuss about quant, I would like to call Siddharth sir right now. Siddharth sir, can you come and let's have a discussion how you will be cracking the quant paper for RBI, and that too in English medium. This session will be in the English medium. So welcome sir.
Hello, thank you so much for the support sir. सबसे पहले तो right, I hope so कि आपको मेरी voice बिल्कुल clear है. I am audible to you. So basically, first of all, I want to wish you all the best for the RBI assistant prelims result. And we have seen a lot of surprises in the prelims, right? We have not seen quadratic equations over here. We have seen 15 marks of simplification in the examination, which is very far seen in the examination, right? So lots of surprises were there in the RBI assistant prelims examination, but now it's time for mains, right? So in mains we have to adopt the concept and the strategy so that all the questions which are asked in the examination will be tackled easily, right? So yes, I can see the lot of comment over here, right? तो यहाँ पे बहुत से लोग जुड़ चुके हैं मेरे साथ. So okay.
So if we talk about the mains examination, so
Right.
what is the best strategy, or what should be the study plan of an aspirant who is going for mains examination? Should he or she be focusing on the arithmetic part,
Yeah.
or the DI part, or as it's an assistant mains? So
Yeah.
maybe DI will be less, but arithmetic will be more. So what's the best according to you for the mathematics, that all those topics that students have to focus on?
Okay. First of all, I want to say that we have to decide for which exam we are going for. Actually, we are going for RBI assistant prelims. We are not going for SBI PO prelims or SBI PO mains or IBPS PO mains. We are going for RBI assistant mains, right? So the level of the mains examination of assistant will be quite easier than the level of the SBI PO mains or the level of the IBPS PO mains. So you need not to worry much, because the questions which will be asked in the mains examination, that were so not so difficult but not so easy. It will be a moderate level, and if you have studied hard, and if you have studied very hard throughout the prelims examination, then you will not face any problems regarding any question in the mains. But the thing is that the approach, right? When you adopt a approach in doing a question, that makes a difference, because some people used to do with a long method and some people used to do with a short trick. This make the difference in the attempts, because as we know that we have only 40 questions but the time is 30 minutes. So there is a difference between the pattern of the SBI PO and RBI assistant mains also. So we have to attempt 40 questions 30 minutes. So as we can see the pattern of the question, so it may be like it will be not very difficult, right? It may be easy.
Can we
Yeah.
share some of the important topics that the student should start practicing with respect to the mains examination?
Okay, so if we come to the mains examination, as we know that there are 40 questions which we have to attempt in 30 minutes. So we can see that we can say that almost mixed question will be asked. It will be from DI also. It will be from it will be from DI also. Major part will be from DI, right? Or we can say that if there are 40 questions, so we can say that majorly 25 questions will be asked from DI, right? 25 questions will be asked from DI, and 10 questions will be asked from arithmetic, right? According to my assumption, right? But if we go for the IBPS clerk mains, in that we have seen approximation question also, series also. So according to latest pattern, 25 marks is for DI, all 20 questions for DI, 10 questions for arithmetic is set, right? Difficulty level will be from moderate to difficult or easy to moderate, but 10 questions from arithmetic part will be confirmed, and the remaining 5 questions will be from Q1 Q2 or DS, right? Q1 Q2 or DS, or we can say that this is the almost whole pattern of the RBI assistant mains examination, which is going to be held in the month of March. So basically major part will be approximately 50 to 60% will be from DI, and you know that in DI, if your concepts are clear, because there are various types of DI, if you talk about the arithmetic based DI or topic based DI or caselet DI. So if we are having our right approach to solve a particular question, then we can solve any type of DI which can be asked in the examination. And one more thing I want to say, that if any arithmetic based DI comes in the examination, then according to that the DI which is based on the topic, and if you have the clear knowledge of that topic, then you can easily attempt that question, that DI in a very easy way. So the main thing is that matter is what approach, right? If you are doing in a right way, then you can attempt maximum question in minimum time. And this is my point, that there will be nothing new, but the approach which you are going to adopt in the examination will be new.
So one last question
Yeah.
from you is that, okay, now the examination, the
Yeah.
prelims examination is over now, and students are waiting for the result.
Yeah.
So while waiting for the result, as an aspirant, should I start the preparation or I wait, let the result come?
Yeah, definitely, because as we know that our SBI clerk prelims examination is also lined up. So if you are start preparing from now onwards, then also it will help you also in the SBI clerk mains also, right?
Okay.
So
Yes,
preparing from today or right now onwards will help you a lot in cracking the SBI clerk also, because if you prepare for mains level, then SBI clerk prelims will be just like a cakewalk for you all, right?
Correct.
If you start preparing for a very difficult task, then the easy tasks which are coming in front of you are very easy for you, and you can easily tackle that. So the pressure of the prelims exam will be removed from your head, because you are all going to prepare for the mains examination, and we know that the level of mains examination and the level of a prelims examination has a lot of difference. So if you are preparing right now for mains examination, then prelims examination of SBI clerk will be just a cakewalk for you all, right? So it is my request to all that start preparing for your mains examination right now from today onwards, so that you can crack your SBI clerk SBI clerk prelims examination on the same, right?
And now you can prepare for the mains examination. Now, till now, if we talk about the history or if we talk about the previous batches,
Yeah.
we have not launched any English medium batch. This is the first time we have come up with a mains English medium batch, in which all the faculties, all the content will be there in complete English.
Yeah.
We'll come back with the details. Thank you, sir. Thank
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. So students, this was about the quant structure. As you can clearly see, sir has clearly given you a section wise or the topic wise approach, that around 60% of the questions will be from DI and the remaining will be from arithmetic or the quadratic equation. Now the next section, if we talk about, so let's talk about English language section, and for that Udisha ma'am will come and she will be explaining the complete English language. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. So, hi guys. First of all the students who used to personally message me on the Telegram group saying, ma'am, please bring this English medium session wherein we don't have problems in understanding whatever you're teaching. Finally, Adda 24/7 has brought this mains batch for all of you, which is going to be completely in English medium. So, I request you all to kindly pass it on to all those students who were ever in need of this. Okay, guys? Now, if we talk about specifically the RBI assistant examination, I have always made myself very clear that the cutoffs always go very high. If we talk about the pre-examination, even in that case, and when we talk about the mains examination, even in that case, guys. So in the pre-examination, I've always told you that, the cutoffs were as high as about 83.75, and Ahmedabad cutoff was somewhere around 80 point something. So these are very high numbers to achieve. We cannot just go on, attempting and not giving any, attention to our accuracy. That makes it a little problematic. Now we have to work on two things. When we are solving the number of questions or increasing the number of questions that we have attempted, along with that we need to make sure that the accuracy thing is also absolutely on point, right? So again, I have to just tell you that the mains paper is definitely going to be a little more difficult than what you get in the pre-part. That's completely objective, not too much of theory involved in it. But when you talk about the mains part, guys, the reading comprehension bit, see, RC is one section that never gets ignored. See, they have always given it to you in all the examinations. So again, RBI assistant mains is not going to be any different, okay? Next, if we talk about closed test, as we saw in the 2016 paper also, they had given you an RC, along with that a closed test, okay? Next, what never goes missing is the error detection part of questions, okay? And after that, fillers are mandatory. Post that, guys, they can come up with a surprise. They can give you some vocabulary based questions. They can give you sentence improvement. They can give you sentence rearrangement. So there are miscellaneous questions. Match the column. Everything can come, okay? So just like mathematics, I cannot be very specific which part needs maximum attention. But yes, these are some fixed parts, and you have to be working on all these parts from today onwards. Don't be sitting and waiting ki let the results be out and and then I'll start preparing, and in a span of say 20 days I'll be able to, you know, clear the examination. It doesn't work like that. Let me remind you all that in 2016 Delhi cutoff was somewhere around 128 out of 200. So if I specifically talk about the sectional cutoff of English, that necessarily doesn't touch very high numbers, but overall cutoffs are very, very high. So I hope you guys, yes, error detection, close test, as Mukesh is also agreeing with me, these are going to be a fixed category of questions in your paper.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. If we talk about the last one
So
last
please,
question. If we talk about that, we have around 30 minutes,
Right.
and we have 40 questions.
Absolutely.
So the student should aim for a minimum number. At least I'll go for, let's say I have to do 20 questions, or let's say 25 questions.
Right.
Should an aspirant be preparing a strategy for English like this as well?
Absolutely, sir. So because sir just brought to our knowledge again, as we already know, but this is something very important that we need to address. We have 30 minutes for 40 questions, and we all know that reading comprehension and close test, both these categories are very lengthy. They take a lot of your time. So why don't we, attempt questions that are going to fetch us marks? So we can start absolutely from very objective questions. Let's say we start with error detection, or we start with fillers, or we start with vocabulary based questions where you have word swap or you have match the column. So these simple ones will guarantee that at least 15 numbers are fixed, 15 marks are fixed, and then you can go to your close test and keep the RC for right at the end, because guys, that needs complete focus, that needs a lot of energy and time. So आपके last का जो about 5 to 7 minutes shall be given to your RC section, 7 or 8, and now you must be surprised, how does one solve a complete reading comprehension in 8 minutes? That is one thing that I'm again and again telling you. Start attempting mock tests, previous year papers, test series. Let your brain be familiarized with the pattern of the paper, so that when you see the final paper, you're not shocked. It doesn't take a lot of time for you to start applying your strategy that you have planned. Okay, guys?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. To students, this was Udisha ma'am. To students, as we can clearly see the pattern, in pattern we have three more sections. To the reasoning and the computer part, we will not able to take today, will not able to discuss, as both the faculties are already taking their batches. But one very important section, or the section which we always call it a game changer, the general awareness portion. So we will be calling here Priyanshu ma'am, and we will be discussing about how we can maximize our scores out of 40 in the upcoming RBI mains. Welcome, ma'am. Ma'am, what should be the strategy for RBI assistant, and how much? The one question which everyone will be asking here is, if the exam is going to be happen in March, how many months of current affairs you just explain to them?
Sure. Thank you, sir. So basically, whenever we are talking about general awareness, and as said even by Gopal sir, ki GA is always a game changer, and undoubtedly it is. Why? Because if you see, the time allotted is 25 minutes and the number of questions that you have to attempt are 40. Now you have to allot equal time to each and every question. Right, so if you know the answer, that's a game changing thing for you. And if you really don't know the answer, you would give that time, but you will miss a marks there. Right, so in order to prepare yourself to the full, to the fullest level, so that you can score or you can maximize your score, I would say that when you are preparing for RBI assistant exam, it is quite possible that the level of the examination is not very tough. Like, it is not tough, it is moderate, it could be easy. There could be 2 or 3 questions which are tough, but you have to prepare accordingly. So there are 2 major sections that you have to pay much more attention. One being current affairs, which we'll be talking about, and we will, yes, of course, discuss about how many months of current affairs is essential or is vital for your RBI grade B, RBI assistant. Then moving ahead with the current affairs, there's one more part, that is static GK. Right now, when you see these examinations which were conducted in 2019, and the pattern we are saying, though RBI assistant was conducted in 2016 last year, right? But when we talk about the pattern of the examinations which are conducted by various IBPS based, IBPS categorized exams, we see that the number of static GK questions are also present in the examination. And when I talk about static GK, I mean capital, I mean currency, I mean international organization, national park, bank headquarters. So all these topics are also important, and I'm truly telling you, all these questions are like free questions. I always consider them as to be free questions, because if you remember them once, if you learn them once, they're going to help you in your entire, journey of examination that you will attempt in the whole year, right? Then talking about banking awareness, quite possible there can be abbreviation based questions from your banking area, but again keeping the number low as 2 to 5 maximum. Now there is one more thing that has been seen these days. What they're doing, instead of asking static banking based questions, they've started using current affair based question, and there is a separate segment which you called as banking current affairs. Okay, more questions are asked from this particular area instead of asking more questions from your banking awareness, right? So what you can do is you can completely divide your current affairs into two parts. Okay, one thing was that how many months. Okay, so when we talk about current affairs, first thing is you divide them into two parts, current affairs and banking current affairs. Okay, you have to pay attention to both of them. Right now, question is how many months. So first you tell me how many months you are ready to prepare. Quickly. Hello everyone. Yes, Mukesh. Tell me. So what do you think is the ideal time? Probably everyone says that you have to prepare for 6 months. Yes or no? But again, if you see the pattern and with the given time level you have, the time frame you have, I would suggest that your exam is scheduled in the month of March, right? One thing, February, January, these are the 2 months that you should give your 200%. While preparing the current affairs, like prepare them with 200%. I am pretty sure that majority of the questions would be from the month of January and February. Again, I'm saying majority. I'm not saying all the questions, right? So January, February is the are the two important months from where you'll find majority questions. Then moving ahead, come to December, right? And if still you have time, then I would say go for November. Else, if you are, if you are in that time frame when you are facing that all your subjects need equal time and you don't have much time, in that case, I would request only prepare for January, February and December, and always start your preparation of current affairs in the reverse order. That's what I have followed. February, January and then December. Giving more importance to the budget also, right? Because abbreviations from the budget can be asked in your exam, and it's not can be asked, it will be asked rather, right? So I think we have discussed much about the current affairs and the month also. Yes, yes. Right?
So if we talk about, as Ma'am has already said that last 3 months you have to do, we will be coming out with a capsule as well, so don't worry, don't afraid that how we'll able to cover that. So we will be providing you the capsule. So I request all the team to come. So the students, we are coming up with the first ever RBI Assistant Mains Live batch. Yes students, we will be launching it next week and we will be covering each and every subject. Mathematics will be taken by Siddharth sir, English will be taken by Udisha ma'am, GA will be taken by Priyanshu ma'am, and reasoning part will be taken by Nirja ma'am. And for computers, you will be getting the complete 12 to 15 hours complete English medium recorded from Swati ma'am. So don't worry, each and every aspect, each and every subject, as you can clearly see, each subject is important, and we will be covering all these 5 subjects in the upcoming batch. So we will be showing you the batch right now. So team, how we will be approaching to the batch, can we explain it to the students then?
Okay, so as my team has already told you, every concept will be delivered to you in English, every question will be in English, and our conversation will be also done to you in English. And it will also play a very important role in your personality development, as when we are talking in English, when we are doing anything which is when we are doing conversation, when we are doing study in English, then it also enhance our personality, right? Because we know that the communication skills plays a very important role in every sector, and as you are going to become an assistant in RBI bank, so it will also enhance your personality also, right, Udisha ma'am?
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
So this particular batch is really going to be very helpful for all of you out there. As Sir has pointed out, that definitely going to be working on your communication skills as well, because this is not the only examination that you're preparing for. There are multiple examinations wherein you have an interview also to crack. So this can be very helpful in that case as well. But other than that,
one thing
when we talk about RBI Assistant Mains Examination, guys, all your sections like say quant, reasoning, English and GA, all these sections will be taught only in English, just to make sure that whatever issues you have had with other communication mediums, those issues are not there anymore. And you were saying, sir?
Yeah, comment is saying that Roshni Mishra, sir, YouTube में class होगी क्या? Yeah, definitely. We are planning for a YouTube class. Right now we are having SBI clerk prelims. After that, we will start classes both bilingual as well as English, right?
Yes. And I just want to say that you can clearly see in the past history as well, we have been launching the batches on YouTube. We have been launching the paid batches as well, and currently you can also we are already running revision batch as well, and also the last moment you can see sir is taking class, ma'am is taking class, and other faculties are taking class, and they are discussing about how to get 35 out of 35, 30 out of 30. We are already conducting these classes. So don't worry about.
And I am having class at 3 p.m. right? So don't go anywhere.
So now let's go to the store team. Can you show this?
Yeah.
Okay. So team, this is the batch.
This is the batch, and here you will see RB Assistant means the complete batch, English medium, in which I will be teaching maths, Udisha ma'am will be English, Priyanshu ma'am will be GA, and reasoning by Rinja ma'am. So when you will click on this batch and you will scroll down, you will see the full description of this batch, how many hours you are getting. You will getting 60 plus live interactive classes, right? After that, 1000 plus practice questions which will be based on latest pattern. After that, a class will be in English medium, and study material will be also in English medium, right? After that, study plan, if you will click on the study plan, you will get the plan, right? You will get the updated plan.
As you can see, these are your faculty members, and then you can see what are going to be the timings for various lectures. You can see mathematics, reasoning, and all. Similarly, you can also see your English lectures. So one after the other, date-wise and timing-wise.
So the date, the plan will be changed because we have taken this batch to 28 now.
Right.
So all these dates will be now 28. You can clearly see the complete study plan, the complete topics, so we can highlight the topics from that PDF.
Absolutely. And in that case, guys, you can do one thing, that once your topics are very clearly mentioned, right, now you can see maths. In maths you can see the topic series, missing, wrong number, double pattern, and then you can also see the arithmetic part. Similarly for English, you can see the topics like column based, word rearrangement.
And if you talk about GA, you can clearly see
absolutely.
October month, November month, everything. We will be taking that in this batch. You can clearly see, you can completely go through this whole study plan. Okay? And again, if the examination, as we have already done in the revision batch, if the examination date will be early, then obviously the classes, the hours will be increased. And if you have any doubt, you have to mail us at blogger@247.com if you're facing, or you can comment on this video. So we are having this doubt. This is a complete English medium batch.
So once you click on buy now, it will take you to the cart automatically, and then you can just go. First of all, write down your email address here. Once you've put
It's already there.
Yeah, so the email address is there.
This is the same team which also has taken bilingual batches. They have given huge amount of selection in LIC assistant, and many selections are awaited because the clerk mains result, the PO mains result, and even in the PO mains, many of who have appeared for interview, they have already given that yes, we have been taking coaching from, or we have been attending the YouTube sessions as well, but the paid classes as well for the upcoming for the IBPS mains as well. So this is the first time that we are coming up with a live class in English medium, and that too not for prelims, for mains level, because we have a huge followership in South, and they were demanding that, so please, as you already know that we have started the sessions in Tamil, in Telugu, in Marathi, in Bengali. they also want us, sir, please also start in English as well. So this is a new initiative by Edit 24/7. You'll be seeing the free classes on YouTube as well in English medium very soon. And you can focus on all the important topics for the RBI examination.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I think that will be all the information that we had to share, sir, with
thank
them.
you. So this is the first ever English medium batch. Visit store. If you have any problem, if you're not able to find the link, you can put the comment in the video. We'll share the link as well. Thank you. Thank you, team.
All the
Thank you
best.
and all the best.